Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rena. If you're new here, then welcome. Today we are doing Get Ready With Me using random generated makeup that I've done last night, to get a full face, see how I feel about these products. Some I haven't used actually for the first time, some I've left it for a long time, my old favorites, see if I still like them today, etc. So I can kind of shop my stash, potentially declutter, or just get more familiar with my whole collection, because I do have a lot. You'll see when I show you the spinning wheels while I was selecting some of them, is just like ridiculously amount. Without further ado, let's just get ready with me. You will see, like I said, well, I was randomly generated, so you won't miss out the fun part of that selection. But also, we're saving a bit of time, so I don't have to film for too long and too much of editing going on. The one good thing about pre-selection is I can figure out if I need to add something into the collection, so I can make a full face a lot easier while I'm in front of the camera with you guys. I am also on call today, so if you see me kind of looking over my phone, that could be just me making sure it's not a message from me, and hopefully I don't get caught in, so we can get this full face done all at once. Without further ado, I think we'll just dive into it. For primer, I've got random selected the Becca Backlight priming filter. I've actually never used this, or maybe used it once, I cannot remember. It's a illuminating primer. It says it's more than just a primer, it's the secret behind the iconic Becca glow and acts as an instant filter. That sounds perfect, but I still need my pore minimizing primer, so I'm bringing out the Benefit, the Pore Fessional. It's a super tiny one. I've got 3 mils over here. It is a bit cloudy outside, so I've turned the lights on, and I try not to turn like the big light in the room, because that gives a different tone. It's like a really yellow, unless I really need the extra light. So I'll see how I go. I might change my mind halfway through the video, but this is what we're gonna do. I only applied a little bit brow because I did have a brunch with my friend. All I did was a tinted, it's a sunscreen, but it's got a bit of tint because it's a mineral sunscreen. It's a new sunscreen I'm testing out from Bandai Sun. They're Daisy, I forgot the name, it's like SPF 30. So today is a cloudy day. I think it's perfect, and I'm only out for like 2 hours, so that's exactly what I need. I'm still gonna use the pore minimizing primer around my pores, which is my nose, my forehead. I will be pre-filming a bit of videos now because I will be going to Japan towards the end of Jan, and before that I pick up a few work shifts to get a bit of extra money so I can spend while I go on travel. I really don't have a lot of free time, plus a lot of free time will be me trying to pack up, or maybe catching up with the friends that I meant to do early. So you might see a few pre-film. This could be potentially one of the videos. To me, the Becca primer, it sounds like a illuminating primer, but also has a bit of filtering effect. It does give a bit of sheen. I saw someone was using it as a project pen product. Mecca Max on her YouTube channel. She is the one create the deck of penning project pen. I always want to participate that one, but I don't feel like I'll be able to achieve much because I do have my makeup project pen going on, and I'm like quite focused on that one. I just can't be multitasking. Maybe I should, but at this stage I'm still really just putting focus onto my makeup project pen. But if you guys doing deck of penning, or you know that, let me know how you think of it. Maybe it's really interesting that I can utilize into some other ways. That feels really moisturizing. I can't say much of filtering, but I think it adds a little bit of glow. That looks good, and it feels nice. It smells good as well. Very liquid, easy to blend. And then for my foundation, I've got the Essence Pretty Natural Hydrating Foundation. This, I don't know if you guys do remember, I tested it out, was it 2022 or 2023? There's a video I was testing this, and I really like this one when I tested. It's hydrating foundation with hyaluron and aloe vera. I've got in the shade 050 Neutral Champagne. I remember it's a good shade match for me. So one thing I don't like is just like squeezing tube design. Sometimes when you leave it for too long, I kind of have guessed exploded inside, that is also when you know this foundation is no longer good. At this stage, this is still looking perfect in my collection, and this is the shade for me. It's a little bit towards to the pinkish actually, but I think I'll make it work. I remember really loving it, but I didn't use that much after the testing video, maybe just for a couple of times, and then obviously I think I was testing some other things if I was correct. Essence is really affordable brands, but we don't get all the releases here in Australia, and usually when we get a release it's like 5 months after the first launch. So I don't often try to review them because we never get it when they first came out. So if you're watching YouTube, you easily found some other European country would get it ages ago. But I did pick up one of their Mickey Mouse blush. I really like it. It's their Bounce blush. It's no point for me to kind of testing a review because when I was purchasing it, it was already on limited edition. A few weeks later when I go check in just to see if they came out with other like Mickey Mouse, like Disney collection from Essence, is already gone. Like nothing was there apart from tester. So, you know, it's no point. This foundation just blends out easily. Oh, that looks really good and doesn't feel heavy. It's very natural. I think the coverage at this stage with the amount I'm applying a solid light, I got a feeling that I could build it up a bit, but I do have concealers that I want to work with in a minute, so I'm gonna just do a tiny bit more. When you see the selection of that random generation, it's quite funny because some of the product I have a lot and I feel like I could use some new product, but they all generated something I've already decluttered or it's kind of in my project pan. It's just like out of so many, the one that's been randomly selected are still the old product that I had. I don't know if it's like, is it like a destiny or something? Is it meant to be? So I'm just building a little bit towards the area where I tend to have a little bit of discoloration, kind of just evens up, and then I'll do a bit of concealer over here as well. I do think this shade actually matches up very nicely. It doesn't look like it's too off. And it's a perfect pair brightening priming filter, the Becca primer, because this is a hydrating foundation, so it's not like illuminating pair with a matte foundation. So it's a really nice combination at this stage. I like it so far. For concealer, I've selected the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin High Coverage Multi-Use Concealer in the shade 2.2. I didn't think 2.2 would be too much for me, but let's have a look. It's absolutely light. So I'll just do a little swatch next to my foundation. You can see how much lighter, and it's actually a similar tone. As the undertone I'll have a little bit pink, but it's much lighter and slightly yellow compared to the foundation. I don't know, sometimes when I see the colors it's a little bit off, so don't trust me fully on that. So I am gonna use something that I was in my project pan last year, the Bourjois Paris Healthy Mix Anti-Fatigue Concealer. This is in the shade Dark 53. I'll just do a quick swatch next to it and you'll see what is dark. But I do really like the undertone. See how it's truly kind of neutral. It doesn't have any pinkish or yellow underneath. I kind of like that. So what I'm gonna do, let me see if I mix them together. Okay, if I mix them together, it's much a nice balance in between, and they're still lighter than the foundation, which I am just gonna go, oops, I just knocked my sponge, under the eye. This is definitely a high coverage. I remember the coverage was quite intense actually. And let's use the tip. I was cleaning my old house makeup drawer the other day and I found a couple of small sponge from Real Techniques. Like it's like the what is it called, angle or precise sponge. I should bring them out. Like the coverage and the brightness is just like, phew, That's one layer also mixed with another concealer. I usually don't use the Makeup Forever concealer by itself. I kind of to match with a foundation to add a bit of coverage, or like today to mix with another concealer to change the color a little bit, but also to give that sort of actually mix the texture a little bit more liquid because it's very thick, which I like. I absolutely love it. So that's concealer. So far I'm happy with everything that I picked up. And then for powder, I've got a designer brand luminous setting powder in the shade Candlelight. This is a gorgeous powder, but with my complexion product, I have a cream product, which is a cream highlighter, a powder blush, a powder bronzer, but I've also got a face palette from Mecca Max, which contain a cream blush. So I think before I set my face, I'm gonna apply the cream blush and cream highlighter first. I know it's not the correct order, but I've got to do it that way. I don't want to set my face and do it and come back to set my face and then go for brown. I'm just gonna use my hand. This is the Mecca Max 5-minute pocket palette in the shade Glow Off. I actually really enjoy this, and I like this blue, although I haven't used that much, but I really do like this color. This blush is really creamy, and I have a bit of, I don't have much of free spot on my hand, rosy color to it. It reminds me of, is it Rare Beauty, one of their blush, liquid blush? But I can't be 100% sure now. Really easy to blend, and it's a really nice compact to travel with because you got your bronzer, cream blush, and enough eyeshadows as well. Not for variety looks, but you can do 2 looks at least. A blue one and a neutral kind of, you know, the standard classic look as well. This blush is not very heavy, so I'm just going to add a little bit more towards the back. Speaking of Mecca, their Boxing Day sale, did you guys pick up anything? I wanted to. I wanted to get a NARS Hoola bronzer. I wanted to do the mini one. And when I was purchasing it, I forgot my gift card. It was in my wallet. I was like, let's just go to the wallet, get it, and so I don't waste extra money. Something kind of happened in between, and by the time I got my wallet, got my gift card, that bronzer's gone. I was on half price sale, so it's like $14 for a mini bronzer, but trust me, I have tons of bronzers. If you see the wheels in a minute, you know I wouldn't need an extra one, but still, I feel like I missed out, but I'm also glad I didn't spend my own money to it because I do have enough. I usually would buy a gift card every year so I can do like Christmas, gift it for my friends, and then with that gift card you pick up, they also give you like a sunscreen as well. And you know me, I love sunscreens, and there's travel size sunscreen. Even if I don't use, I can give it to my friends, right? It's just a really good bonus, and then I know I'm going to use that money anyway, so it's like a little bit of extra. And I do like Mecca, the services where they give you the gift box and make my life so much easier. If you are running behind to preparing, or you're just not someone really into gift wrapping and all that. And now let's do a little bit of highlighter. This is the designer brand again, Quick Fix Cream Highlighter in the shade Bubbly. This line is really, really good. I'll have to show you, or let's do here. I'm just gonna use this entire hand to show you almost everything. So this, oh, you can't really see because it's so close to my skin color, but I think you can see the shine. Let's just do it on my face and hopefully you can see it. I just used the stick dotted on my face, and that is sometimes causing a problem, not with the finish on my face, but on the stick it looks a little bit, not dirty, but like used. I guess it will be different if I'm using on a brush or on my fingertips, will look much better, but I only use it for myself. I don't really care. Their Quick Fix line is really good. Nice cream blush, cream bronzer, cream highlighter. I think I love the bronzer and blush more than the highlighter. And they're all really affordable. I think it was like $15 to $16 per one, and they always have sales on their websites. At the local chemist, you can buy 3 get 1 free. The free gift is not the same. It's like a few selections you can get, but it's really good. I still have their loyalty cards as well. what I was also trying to say is easy to take with you for travel. I took this one to Hong Kong, and that was really hot in their summer. Nothing melted, there was no mess, no accident. It was really, really good. On the day I was in a rush, I just do bronzer, blush, highlighter, and a quick blend through everything. This work is a dream. The only downside, if it's the lasting power, if you're asking something lasting the whole day, it's not gonna be, but it's good enough for most of the time. When I go to Disneyland, I still use that whole thing. It was looking really good. Let's go to the illuminating setting powder. They did came with a little sponge, and there's a little mirror. This is like $15–16, and now the vegan brands, very expensive, clean brand, they don't have anything. You got a sponge, and then you got a compact like powder, and this powder is how much? 11.5 grams. Like everything is super decent, but I usually just use a brush if I'm setting. Sometimes I use this powder almost like a powder foundation ish. They have another one that I really do use it as a powder foundation. This is more for setting, so I'll just set my under eye. It has a little bit of shade in here, which I like to set my under eye because I just want a little bit of extra coverage. And then I do my T-zone. Then I go with a big fluffy brush. This is the powder brush from Real Techniques. If you're someone studying makeup and you just want a set of brush that works, like every single brush basically works for you, I do think the Real Techniques one's really good. Like I still have their blush brush, their eyeshadow brush, their face powder, I'm trying to think, and their stapling brush are something I always have in my collection. I got them when I start doing makeup, and they're still in my collection. Their other brushes good, like this one is from Tarte. I like it so much. And I got a couple from BH Cosmetics and randomly MAC, you know, here and there. But these, it's something you won't waste your money because every single brush can come to work. And I haven't been like more into brushes recently because a lot of time I just use what I've got. But there are times when you think a brush would make a big difference and maybe you didn't notice, but it does. So now I feel it. It wasn't ever techie to start with, so the foundation does set itself really well, and that is why I like it, although as it's so affordable. So for bronzer, I haven't done any. I've also got a designer brand. Like you see so many designer brands here. This is how much I love. And also Glad is an Australian brand that is just so easy, affordable. It's the Get Glowing Pressed Mineral Bronzer. Let me know if you want to do a full face of designer brand because I definitely have enough for a full face. I have used it a few times, but not a lot. So you can't actually see there's much of any marks, but I used it and I use quite light hand. So this is a brush from BH Cosmetics. And I'll just kind of bronze. I was watching a video about my face shape because I'm kind of like slim but also quite angled because my bone's pretty protruding, like it's a bit male looking. I don't really mind, it's just me. But they did say when you do bronzing, if you can bring it down here and a little bit below the jawline, it will be good. I mean, let's just try it. It can't get any worse, right? I was gonna plan to wake up early, do this video, hang out with my friends, wake up so late, almost like miss the time to head out the door. And I also forget to prep my clothes outfit today, so I was like panicking, running around. I was crazy this morning, but it was a really nice gathering. I always catch up with some of my friends at least a couple times throughout a year, but we kind of lost track after maybe around Easter. So I was like, we need to catch up. Do you want to catch up before or after Christmas? And we're like, maybe we do after Christmas, because when I check in with her, it was so close to Christmas. Everyone's just finalizing their very last bit of it. Oh, I did forget, because I just done my nose contour. I did random generated another eyeshadow from MAC, which I only use it for nose contour. Although I've already done it, I'll show you what I do. This is in the shade Omega. This is a shade in China. We are so popular to use it for nose. So I found a fluffy but angled brush, and I just dip it in and then tap it, and then I just go from my brow, the tip of my brow, follow straight line to my nose tip. And when it gets to my nose tip, I started doing a little circle in, because I have a quite wide nose base. Is that how you say nasal base? So I kind of just like brushing it in, try to make it smaller. I love my nose being like a Jackie Chan nose, but I don't know how to do Kung Fu, so I try to minimize that. Isn't that everyone thinks Chinese people can do Kung Fu? Also, can do table tennis, which I can't do either. It's like how I think all Australians can swim and my friends can't. And he's like really, really tall. I was like, you don't even need to swim. You stand in a swimming pool and the pool is probably just to your here anyway. Where me halfway through the pool, I'm already like tiptoeing and it's just so interesting. But I didn't learn how to swim until, you know, my sister really wanted me to, and I feel like she missed it out a lot because I don't swim. So a lot of activities, my parents kind of like scared of her coming by herself, but if I know, they'll be much easier. So there are different ways how to blend the edges. I'm being really lazy. I kind of just buff it all around because I just have some leftover powders, but the precise way is found a clean brush, really just brushing the edges. It looks really precise, but I'm like, nah, that's not me. And let me see how my blush is looking. I think I have quite a bit of glow, but not much of blush color. This blush does blend out very nice, almost a little bit too nice, just a little bit too nice, which is perfect because I also random generated the Physicians Formula Butter Blush. This is the one called Nude Silk. I have another one, and I'm hoping that I got that one, but no. And this is the one that came broken, and I pressed it in. So I've used it for a little while after I pressed it in, just wanted to make sure the formula is still good. It's still really good. Pickups a lot. Wow. Oh, that powder. Oh my god. This is how it looks now. Did I pick up too much? Or is it because I repressed so the formula has changed? I feel like that's a lot of powder. Anyway, we're gonna do it on the face. This is a really beautiful silk color, has a tiny bit of nude to it. For a while, I was loving doing this, like the burnt out look. I don't really mind now, but this shade, because so light, it can truly do that, and all of a sudden it looks like I had a burnt look. But this is how much it kick up. I need to dump it into the bin because I'm not going to close this properly. And now we're getting into eyes. I've already done my brows. I might just quickly brush through it a little bit after everything, but we'll quickly do the eye. For the eyeshadow, I pick up another one that I've tried before. I have a lot I've never started trying. It was almost like a collecting eyeshadows. And I hope I could get some things so I can play with it, but I still love this one. And this is the Balm What's the Tea eyeshadow, the warm tea. Is that called a warm tea? A hot tea. I've done iced tea before on a project pan. So this time we've got a warm tea. Oh, no, actually, I've done this one on a project pan before. Yes, I remembered. I have to do a no pan left behind style. So I'm wearing something purple, and I don't see much of purple-ish looks. So I think I'll do the silvery, so it's a bit of on that side, the flashing of the colors. Okay, so starting with a base shade, I think I'll use Word on the Street, a bit of pinky mauve, nude-ish color. I believe they have a mirror. Yes, they do. Wow, the mirror quality is so good. So speaking of the balm, why there's no one talk about it? The balm seems like fading out of the market, and I really, really like their eyeshadows. Some of the color story can be a bit not so innovative, but the quality, they're really, really good. Like these ones, they have this eyelid primer, which I don't like it at all. I don't even consider it as a shade. I don't use them. But the quality of the eyeshadow is really good. So that's the base. It looks a bit more pink than I expected, but we'll make it work. I mean, we can go bold, go hard. And I wanted to use... Okay, speaking of go bold, I think I'm gonna mix of Hey Girl Hey, this burgundy one, with Scandalose, this kind of dark chocolate color, together to create a kind of base outer corner shade. Oops. I'm definitely not someone that should be teaching doing eyeshadows. And this is another Physicians Formula eyeshadow. It's their base shadow brush. If you're looking for videos on YouTube or any platform of the beginner friendly one, you definitely found people recommending Real Techniques. I said Physicians Formula, sorry. Real Techniques, that's what I'm talking about. They're really good. For me, I have really small eyes, so this one I don't use it as a shading, like setting my shades, actually in a outer corner kind of already, but something that I can pack a lot of color, and then I'll buff it around with another buffing brush in a minute. But if you're having a really nice big eyes where there's a lot of space between your eyelid to your eyebrow, you can lay a lot of shade on it, and this one does pick up the nice color. And it doesn't get everywhere. Like the shape of the brush is pretty good, and it's universal. Like for small eyes, I can found way of using it, and for bigger eyes, obviously there are other ways for it. Although they said it's a base shadow, I don't like. My base shadow was a very diffuse, fluffy brush, so I can just kind of have this base shadow, and I'll show you how I buff it in a second, so I can have some leftover color from that base to work around. Like saying I'm okay with this, which I'm not 100%, but if I want to blend edges, I'll just do this. So I have a bit of shade from the base shadow that I've got previously, so it just kind of blends everything together. And I'll go back to this, adding a little bit of that Scandalous, the chocolate color, a little bit more into the inner outer corner baseline. I always be amazed at how people can do tutorials on YouTube, especially on their eyes. I just love how they do it. And it looks so easy and straightforward, and when I do it, it's like a completely different story. Couldn't make it work, not at all. I'll always remember to like buff out of the little triangle to make a bit diffuse, so it looks like you have a nice blend. And I can always do really good on the right side of the eye, but not so much on the left. I blink to my eyes, but I think maybe it's my technique. And then I'll use, here's this where me using my eyeshadow is completely not the right way. The MAC 239S. This is another base shadow brush, and I just use it as an outer corner, like almost like an angular brush. If you get from something like this, let's put it here so you can see better. But I just like the curve. I actually like the curve, so I'll go. I don't have an even darker one, but I think I might actually go Hey Girl Hey to do a lining kind of on top of it. So I just kind of like cross my brush into the eyeshadow, and then I'll just line it up. So just give me a little bit of red to it. And then same brush, I'll dip into the dark chocolate. So I'm pretty much just playing with these two colors and into the outer corner. And I don't go out like a wing because I can't, but I'll just really push it in with my eyes open. And close and open and close and open. And if I realize it was a bit too harsh, I start to use the, like, not the tip, the whole body of the brush, and start to buff it a little. And now that's pretty much the majority of my eyeshadow look. I'm just gonna pick a color to do the glitter. I've got a feeling I want to try the tell-all because this is a chrome sheen, but I remember every time I do it, it doesn't look the best. But we're gonna give it one more go, so I just use my fingertip. I literally just use my finger. So that's the chrome sheen it gets. It does kind of reflects a bit of purple, or that's just me. I feel like it does a little bit gray, purple, blue. Am I just making it all up? it's not a super creamy one. You know, some of the shades are too creamy these days. Like you put it in and make a dent. This is definitely not. It's a really nice pack, but one of the traditional formula. But it's also not very fluffy, as in it has its intensity and does pack on your eyes. If you do use a wet brush or a big glitter glue, I'm sure it'll look thousands better, but I'm happy this way. And if I want to add a little bit more, I'll usually go with a tipped brush. I do have another one. This is another small shading brush. I might use this today. Just gonna pack a little bit more of that shade onto the center of my lid. Let's choose Spill the Beans, like a really brighter, not icy, a bit creamy color, just for my inner corner. And if I don't think this overall eye look is the perfect, this is cheating me. Find another clear brush and I just brush the edges. Because it doesn't look too bad most of the time, as long as the edges looks nice and diffuse and clean. This is where you can also do a bit of brow highlight, but I literally don't have enough room and I tend to avoid that unless I fix my brows super precisely, which that's not also what I like to do. I'm just really chill vibes. I am gonna quickly do my brows quickly, eyeliner, mascara, because that's nothing new. We'll come back finish with the lip. I don't think the light has got any better, probably got worse a little bit. Let me just turn the overhead lights on. Does that got any better? Okay, it does get a bit better, but it gives a bit of actual warmth to it, which is not necessarily exactly the warmth that you see on my face in real life. So we're done to lippies. I've done my eyelashes, you know, that's just standard, nothing different. I almost applied my lips because I was trying the two colors. I've got one lipstick pick up by the Essence Ultra Last Instant Color 14. It's a really beautiful burgundy red. And then the one that I tried a little bit in the center of my lip is this Maybelline Color Joint Intense Lip Paint, which I don't think you can get anymore. It's ages ago. Number 10, Never Bare. It's a shade that I was recommended by another YouTuber that I was watching. And when I'm looking at the shade, I was like, ooh, this is too pink. I'm not gonna like it. But I just applied a little bit in the center. It wasn't too bad. So I'm gonna... See, this is the shade. It actually looks better than I thought, but I have to say, it does seem a little bit, I don't know how it looks in front of the camera, in real life, a little bit too pink, like make myself a little bit too dull. I don't really mind, but I also wanted to look myself a bit brighten up a bit. So I'm doing a really bold move. I am going to use my lip brush and just to brush a little bit of this color, see if you can just do the outer edge, just make it less that pink in my opinion, because this looks really dark in real life. So let's just get some color onto my lip brush. See, I never used lip brush until literally recently. And I've been doing makeup, not that I'm really good, but I've been doing makeup for years. I'm just thinking adding it on the outer, almost like a lip liner maybe. You know what? I think I'm just gonna go with lipstick. And then brushing it with the liner as the lip brush. I don't know if you can hear it. It's raining crazy outside. Bear in mind, this is summer, very hot, and today's very cold. Lucky that I went out with my friends in the morning where there's still sun. Now with layering, it become purple instead of pink. And I actually prefer a purple over pink. This is where I was like, I don't know whether I want to declutter this lip or keep it, because most of the time I wouldn't be using this lip color at all because it's so pink. But when it pairs, it's a perfect pair. It's a paint which it lasts a bit longer. I need to try this lipstick by itself on a different day just to see how it feels. And I probably should do a little bit with my hair so it's not too pulled back. I don't know, what should I do? But that concludes this Get Ready With Me. And I hope you guys really enjoyed it. All in all, apart from the lip, There's nothing that I think I want to declutter. Actually, everything works gorgeously on my face, and turns out everything paired very well together. And we had a little bit chit chat here and there. I kind of like this video, and it's not super long that I have to put a lot of focus. It's a very chill vibe. I hope you can watch this video while you do your makeup. You know, it's that kind of like laid back, relaxed sort of style. I will be having this makeup and do a couple more videos just to get a bit of ahead of my schedule, since I'll be going away to Japan. And I do planning to vlog in Japan, although it's been hard. Like, both me and my partner were really shy, and then a lot of time we kind of speak in Chinese, but if I do vlog, I need to put translation. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be a lot of work. But I also want to record short clips in Japan, so I don't know if I'll be able to do much. And I'm also going to Disneyland, Disney Sea. I'm like super excited. I'm such a Disney girl. That's just for another video, but I hope you guys really enjoy this type of idea of randomizing whole collection, and I might do more because I've been really enjoying it today, not just working on my Project Pan products solely. I can get around with everything I've got in my collection. So that's all for today. I hope you guys stay safe and stay positive, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!